No, kick higher, girl. You gotta keep him off guard.
That was a slide. Oh!
Yeah.
Something like that, blubber butt?
Lover butt?
Don't you ever call me that.
Don't you ever
Hey, what'd I say? Come on, I was just kidding, Jax. What are you so touchy
be really
about?
mad about it.
Look, if I tell you, you gotta promise never, I mean never, to tell another living soul.
My mom called me
you
lover
got it,
butt.
bro.
When I was a kid, 8, 9 years old, I was fat. I don't mean just a little pudgy either. I'm talking
did she say
fat,
blubber
like the
butt?
fattest kid in school.
I heard lover butt.
Yeah. And all the other kids used to rag on me something fierce. One of their favorite.
I love the interpretation of these characters.
In the thermal fields.
Huh?
Hi, my name's Jordan,
No.
and we like Mortal Kombat. Welcome back to Down 2, where we're uppercutting our way through all of Mortal Kombat history, starting from the early days with your Defenders of the Realm. We watched episodes 8 and 9 today.
Yep.
The introduction of Quan Chi, the return of Shang Tsung. This was quite a
These episodes were better than all the other ones put together.
Yeah, this was the best session that we've had so far. It's the least I've wanted to kill myself after watching.
But don't you worry. It still sucked ass.
Yeah, it still wasn't good.
No.
Let's get into episode 8 then.
I think that episode was called Blubber Butt.
Blubber. We open up the episode with them fighting a bunch of robots, because that's apparently the only way they know how to open these episodes anymore, is
Robots.
fighting robots. We see Sonya fighting the robots. She beats one. We see Sub-Zero fighting robots. He beats one. Liu Kang hits the gritty with one.
He does. Yeah, they square dance.
And then it's revealed that this isn't actually happening. This is Quan Chi, and he's watching the fight that will happen in the future.
In the puddle of
time.
prophecy.
Yeah, the puddle of prophet. Is that actually what it's called?
It was the something of prophecy, and it had to do with the water.
Quan Chi decides to use this to his advantage, knowing that there's a fight coming up and that the defenders will be distracted. And so he plans to go and find the crystal of something.
Yes, he goes to Gruntilda's forest.
castle.
Yeah. And he finds a stone, a red stone.
But it's not a stone.
It's not. It's a crystallized
crystal heart.
We don't know that at this time.
Right. But whatever. Who cares? He grabs the crystal.
He does.
And he comes back through the portal, but at this time, the defenders they've dealt with the robots, they found the portal, and so they surround it, and they're expecting to jump whoever comes out. Quan Chi cleverly disguises himself as someone addicted to methamphetamines.
He looks like Baby Jonkler.
Baby Jonkler?
Yep. That's what he looks like.
What is Baby Jonkler?
He looks like a teenage Joker who hasn't figured it out yet. Yeah, he looks like a...
And so, as part of his charade, he offers a gift to the defenders for some reason.
Yep.
I don't remember what he said. Did he say why? Or is it just all...
No, I found a cool rock.
What is my cool rock?
You want to see my cool rock?
And the rock has mysterious effects on everyone. And all their eyes flash red. And the only one who kind of susses it out is Katana, because she's not an Earth Realmer, I guess, maybe. Or she's just really old.
We don't want this stupid rock. And he's like, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, bitch.
Too late, you looked at it.
You looked at it.
And then he scurries away.
Yep, he just runs off back into his
shit, we skipped
portal.
We skipped Blubberbutt, though.
Oh, yeah, we did skip that. Yeah, earlier in the episode, we get Sonya and Jax training, and Sonya gets wins the rep over Jax and calls him a blubberbutt. And this is horribly traumatic.
It sets him down a path of, I don't know, post-traumatic stress disorder, as he tells him that when he was a kid, he was a tubby kid.
Mm-hmm.
And they called him Blubberbutt, and he shot up the school over it. No, wait. He might have wanted to because he was very upset.
I mean, this was a traumatic
So he says,
experience for him.
"Don't ever tell anyone. Don't ever say it again.
Don't you ever let anyone know about that name."
Don't ever tell anyone."
But we start to discover the effects of this crystal heart is that it makes everyone
hate each other.
really angry and irrational. And so as they're arguing, Sonya pulls out the hard B word.
Blart?
Actually, Stryker does get really close to saying something he shouldn't say.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Nightwolf was it. Maybe we get Nightwolf Hero episode.
Oh.
He's the only one that wouldn't be affected.
We almost
Well,
wiped
rated.
out back there. Hey, don't walk away. I'm talking to you, ninja.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa!
Why ask me?
They're all at each other's throat,
Yep.
except Nightwolf, because Nightwolf wasn't there.
Yep.
They explain the crystal that was shown to them to Raiden, and Raiden immediately figures out what it is. And because he immediately figures out what it was, Katana immediately figures out that must have been the evil sorcerer, Quan Chi.
Quan Chi. Yeah, she is the one that sussed that out, isn't she?
Yeah. And so they figure out that they need to go to a mysterious realm of Zetera.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is strange. That is supposed to be where the reptile, the Zeterans come from.
Right.
Although, I can't remember the lore of this one. Are they Saurians in this timeline?
I think they did say Saurians earlier.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So they're just kind of mix matching like everything so far.
Yep. A realm of snakes. Although there weren't any snakes, it was just more sand and weird rocks.
Yeah, there's a lot of infighting. Everyone's bickering with one another. They get in their planes and they head through a portal to there. Nightwolf is the only rational person because he's the only one that wasn't blinded by the red crystal since he was back at the base.
Right.
Once they start exploring the world trying to find where the crystal came from so they can destroy it, they get ambushed by a bunch of rock creatures, golems. I don't know what you would call them.
Yeah, analog cyborgs.
Yeah.
You're everywhere.
Dang.
This can't be good.
Well, it's a good thing they're made out of styrofoam.
That guy kicked his own friend so hard he died.
Yeah, he did kill himself with that
Killed
kick.
himself. And they, I mean, they're not really a threat.
No.
'Cause, like, I mean, there's shots of them accidentally hitting each other and both die.
Yep.
Like, they really aren't a threatening fight at all.
It's great.
But this leads to more infighting as people bump into each other and accidentally hit each other. But they eventually defeat them and make their way into this big lightning orb in the sky or whatever. How'd they even get into that thing? I don't.
I can't remember, but I feel like we're blazing past when Sonya tells everyone he used to be called Blubberbutt.
Oh yeah, she did say.
And she says that a couple times, and Jax is so humiliated. But eventually,
he shoots a fireball. He's so mad.
He does. Yeah, he does.
They don't really talk about that. But
but
he literally shot a fireball.
more importantly, he gets right back at her by saying, "Hey, remember how you let your partner die?"
Yeah.
Trying to get us all killed? You ice freak?
Enough, Stryker.
If you aren't gonna fight, at least stay out of my way.
That's fresh, coming from a loser who gets her partner killed. Quick,
Jesus Christ, Jax. She called you Blubberbutt, dude. These are two different ends of the spectrum.
Oh my god!
is that?
And they pretend that is as equal. Those are equal burns.
Childhood
Your name is
trauma.
Blubberbutt. Yeah, well, your best friend died, and it's your fault. And okay, we'll get to the end where they pretend that it's all her fault.
So they make their way into the lightning castle, and in there, Quan Chi says that only the strongest amongst you can destroy the crystal, which is
oh my,
not true. But because of all the infighting and all the aggressiveness, it leads to them all bickering over who's the strongest.
Who's the strongest?
Yeah, they all fight each other. And Nightwolf tries to break them, snap them out of it, but he gets ambushed by Quan Chi and
Fight
his
the
snake
dark.
powers.
But I know, I'm 99% certain he's had
Riddle
the
me
yin
this,
yang.
flaming skull.
Oh!
Have you seen 2 snakes before? And this one's much larger. And there's
there's
more
more
snakes! They never expect the snake within the snake trick.
He needs to have that special move.
Yeah, so it turns out Quan Chi, like nowadays we know Quan Chi for being a necromancer mostly, but in
Right.
this interpretation, his initial introduction, he's a snake guy. So
He's snake.
He has a snake staff. The snake staff spits out snakes.
The snake staff spit out a snake that then spit out dozens of tiny snakes.
Yes.
Which honestly, based, I love that, actually.
This move needs to be an MK1.
Yeah, give him his staff.
Next DLC or whatever, when they update the roster and give everyone new moves and shit, like they did for like Havoc.
Yeah.
Quan Chi needs his snake,
Give him
snake
his
into snake into
snake
snakes
staff, yeah.
move. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But Quan Chi does start to win over Nightwolf and has him pinned and genuinely might defeat him. But he reaches out to Katana and tells her to
Fight the darkness.
Fight the darkness within yourself.
Fight the darkness. Fight the darkness. That's what he does. And it works.
It works.
Darkness. Fight the darkness.
What is this? Damn.
I can't believe that reaction. Katana breaks out of it. They defeat Quan Chi, and Nightwolf breaks the crystal, and they all return to normal. And
Yep.
the day is saved thanks to believing in yourself and your friendship and the honor of your team.
And now we got to show. This is what it looks like when his staff gets broken, because that reaction was great.
Quan Chi,
Oh!
he's the king of reactions.
And then when the gem gets broken, I can't even remember what it is. He just freaks out. I love it.
But yeah, they travel back to the realm, and Sonya apologizes to Jax for calling him a blubberbutt.
Mm-hmm. And Jax does not apologize for what he said at all.
Nobody else apologizes for anything. Just Sonya for the blubberbutt comment.
Right. Yep.
That's the only one that was too far. That's the
was-
only one that crossed the line.
That was hilarious.
And that's the end of episode 8. Probably the most enjoyable episode I think we've had. And,
Yeah,
and
easily.
probably not for the right reason.
Easily the most entertaining episode.
We were laughing. We were
It was
genuinely laughing
good.
pretty hard.
It was hilarious. The next episode wasn't that bad either.
No.
Probably the second best. Not as good
It had
as
the most stakes of any episode so far, I would say. Like there was the most like, well, maybe someone might die.
Yeah.
You know, we get into episode 9. A bunch of hooded figures find a skeleton locked in a casket thing deep underground in a crypt, and they bring it to Shao Kahn. Which this is the first time we've seen Shao Kahn in a couple episodes now, isn't it?
Yeah, we saw him like at the end of an episode in his little spaceship thing.
Yeah. And that was like the only tease for it.
Yep.
Which it's one of my issues with this series. It's that it's like they want to say Shao Kahn's behind it all, but they never show Shao Kahn being behind it all, or they like nobody like even if they just had like lines where Shiva was like, Shao Kahn wants you dead, you know.
They don't mention
like that would help make it feel more connected.
The
between
minions really
everything.
don't say anything like that. which
And
is kinda
like
weird.
Quan Chi was obviously like his own person. Like he definitely wasn't connected. And then the robots I thought might be connected, but now I think that they're just Lin Kuei stuff, you know, with the Cyber Grandmaster who wants to
Right.
kill Sub-Zero. So I don't even think they're related at all to Shao Kahn. So whenever the robots attack, which guess what we open up with in this episode again after we get through this Shang Tsung
little
stuff?
robots.
More robots. But, you know, we keep going back to the robots and they just feel so disconnected. And
is-
now that we're getting deeper into this, I'm kind of curious, like, are we going to revisit the Lin Kuei at all? Like, are we going to see that Grandmaster again?
I'm also confused. So all these species from Outworld coming in are trying to set up a foothold.
Mm-hmm.
So why are the Lin Kuei randomly attacking things?
I don't know. Because that's one thing, too, is that the Lin Kuei is supposed to be, like, Earth. Like, they're supposed to be Earth defenders. and that the whole Cyberlink Way stuff is like them going too far. But I don't know if they do. Like, I don't even think they're on Earth in this one, you know? Are they?
I don't know.
I genuinely don't. Because that's the other problem is, going back to episode 8, is like they described Zetera as like this realm of mystery, but it looked identical to areas they were fighting at the beginning of the area, which were supposed to be on Earth. Like, I don't know where anything is or takes place. I don't know what's mystical versus Earth related. The
locations on Earth look just as like either deserted or exotic as the areas in Outworld.
Yeah, like if I pulled up back to episode 2 with the Scorpion, if I showed you like the 3 main areas that they fight in there, I don't think people would be able to confidently say which one's not on Earth.
Right.
Because they fight at like that crypt, and then like there's like another place, and then they fight on the pyramid, and it's like the pyramid's the one in Outworld, but we have pyramids.
Right.
So it's like I'm having trouble understanding where things are, and I know that this is nitpicking a very old show for children, but it all adds to the buy-in of the show, is making these areas feel distinct and otherworldly, which I just don't think that they effectively
They did not do that at all.
Yeah. So back to Shao Kahn with the bones of Shang Tsung. He uses a little potion made by the Shadow Priest. It was cool to see the Shadow Priest referenced, because that's, one of those things that's like kind of iconic about like MK2.
Mm-hmm. I do find it weird. They give him this big old vial of red stuff, and he uses like 1 drop.
Yep. I wonder what he's using the rest for.
If that's the case, yeah, like everyone that dies under your command just... Nope, you don't die. Nope.
You could easily resurrect like half an army with that whole bottle.
I did love that Shang Tsung's reaction was, Why did you resurrect me just to yell at me? I already died.
Yeah, Shao Kahn resurrects him. He turns human. They give him a cloak, and Shao Kahn immediately punches him in the face. That's for failing me. And Shang Tsung's like, I fucking died, dude. Like, I think I paid my
punishment
dues.
enough. Leave me alone.
He talks about the hell that he was in, being tortured by
a lot of Doom imps.
Yeah, Doom imps. But Shao Kahn says he has a master plan, and his master plan involves
so good.
The orb.
I have gained possession of a force that is so great, it will give me ultimate power and reduce even Raiden to a mere mortal. Behold the orb.
This is the orb, and that just cracked me up. I was waiting for an adjective or a title. The orb.
I almost spit my drink because of how silly. Like, I was taking a drink and he goes, the orb. And there is a long enough pause to where you're thinking he's going to say, like, the orb.
The element
of chaos.
Something.
Yeah. And instead, the orb.
The orb.
But so the powers of the orb, apparently, this is what it says. The orb power is directly tied to how evil someone is. So the more evil you are, the more powerful the orb is. So Shao Kahn's plan is to give it to Shang Tsung to use. So either he's bullshitting, or he's admitting that Shang Tsung is more evil than him.
I love that.
And also, he's saying that although this orb is so powerful you could defeat Raiden and all the defenders, it's not powerful enough to where I'm worried about it, so you can take it. Which then goes back to the, why don't you just go kill him yourself, Shao? Like,
right?
What are you doing here then?
No.
It's just all over the place with this stuff. But he gives him the orb, and within earshot, Shao Kahn has just stepped off camera, and Shang is like, first I'll kill the defenders and Raiden, and then I'll kill Shao Kahn.
I just imagine he's like off screen looking over his shoulder like, huh?
What? What'd you say? What? No, nothing. I said I'd praise Shao Kahn.
I brought you back to life and gave you a brand new weapon. Be grateful.
I'm very appreciative of that.
Yeah, be grateful.
So, Shang goes to Earthrealm, and the defenders of Mortal Kombat here, they're like, computers are going off and all that stuff. And Raiden is acting kind of funny. He's kind of like, he kind of looks like he has the flu.
they're working on their ships while they're underwater.
Yeah, that is true.
They're
too.
doing preventative maintenance on their ships that are underwater.
They don't bring the ships out of the water to work on them. They just grab a wrench in their teeth and dive.
I love how the wrench had like sharp edges and like almost like thorns on them. Like
it was
who made this?
Aesthetically appropriate.
It made me think of like, do you ever watch like Metalocalypse?
Yeah.
How their whole house and all their stuff has like spikes on it.
Yeah, for no reason.
And I'm like, you're gonna cut yourself with that. But anyways,
so they head to the computer room and they see that basically like all the elements all over the world are acting funny. There's deserts that are flooding and icebergs that are on fire. As silly as that is.
Which let me get this straight. That is, Earth is already doomed.
Yes. Yeah, we're in apocalypse territory.
If your deserts are now oceans and your icebergs are on fire, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know how, like, they're not, I mean, it's a kid's show, so they don't really have to.
I know.
But, like,
it's so funny, though.
It is weird to think of the total, like, the environmental implications of all this, even if it just happened in, like, a couple places.
It's just, this show is kind of funny, but, like, that wasn't played for laughs.
Yeah.
Like, that was, like...
Yeah. They also mentioned greenhouse gases, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah. Woke.
And also that hundreds of species die every day. Like, it becomes National Geographic for like 10 minutes.
I'm so sick of my woke
propaganda.
Woke Mortal Kombat from 1996 or whatever.
Yeah, 96. Yeah, they were ahead of their time. So
we got another girlfriend out of Jax.
Oh yeah,
Jax
Jax does say
girlfriend.
I can't remember what he says though.
I can't remember either. But it's directed at Raiden again, and it's hilarious.
This I do think that like this show can have really nice moments with characters interacting, and this was a good episode for that, where we get Raiden is sapped of his powers. They go fight like a portal that opens up because they got to go fight some robots.
Yep.
And Jax chooses to stay behind so that way he can keep an eye on Raiden and make sure that he's okay.
Now, to be fair, he doesn't say, I'm staying here to work with Raiden. He says, oh, man, I feel under the weather. I don't even know what's going on with me. Oh, man, I'm feeling a little down and out.
I'm feeling a little woozy.
Leave one of the ships here for me. If my tummy stops hurting, I'll come help you guys.
Also, I like how I just thought about this, but that dock that they park the ships in has totally changed since earlier in the series.
Right.
Like, it was just like a dock thing, and now it's like 3 triangle things that they like park the fronts into. I don't know. It definitely looks different.
Raiden had it renovated.
Yeah.
To look cooler.
He doesn't do anything else in this series,
right.
So it does make sense.
I want to see Raiden work in a cement mixer. That'd be great.
He's wearing his normal hat, but he has a construction hat over it.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. So we go back to the Defenders, and they're attacking robots on a beach, and suddenly Shang Tsung appears. So while Jax and Raiden are figuring out what's wrong with Raiden, and they're bonding, and there's actual nice moments there, of them interacting with each other and being more personable than like anyone has really been throughout this series, I would say.
Yeah.
At the same time, we've got like the worst possible scenario. Shang Tsung is back. He has the orb. And with the power of the orb, he can defeat all of them pretty easily, and he does. So he opens up like a fissure in the ground, and they all fall into it. Everyone's okay, but now they're stuck towards the bottom, and there's lava, and it's hot, and Sub-Zero's feeling a little woozy.
I forgot about that. Sub-Zero was like about to like...
He was about to die.
He was like white girl wasted.
Like, Nightwolf goes to get him out later, and he's just like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah.
I wish he threw up. Just because that'd be
would've
funny.
been hilarious.
Like if he threw up down Nightwolf's back while he was carrying him out. Anyways. So they're stuck in the fissure, and Shang Tsung is basically like, I'm really here to kill Raiden anyway, so I'm just gonna use you guys as bait. If Raiden doesn't come here in 15 minutes, I'm making up a time, I'm gonna close the fissure and crush you all. So you better call Raiden. What if they didn't have a way to call Raiden?
Right. I also find it weird, knowing who Shang Tsung is, that he was like fine with not defeating Liu Kang.
Yeah, it's weird. It did not feel like he held a grudge
Yeah.
with Liu Kang, really. Like, he's just like, I'm back, bitches. And Liu Kang is, like, shocked, but then he doesn't really, like...
Right. There's, like...
Yeah.
It feels weird that the... I guess it was cool to have this episode where Raiden was mortal, kind of going back to the lore of the early games where, like, he couldn't compete because he was a god, but then he gave up his godhood status to fight. Obviously not the exact same thing, but still.
Right. So Raiden Raiden and Jax both get in a plane, and they fly out to the same island, and they bond a little bit. And then there's some nice moments where Raiden talks about his, belief for mortals, and Jax is like, "Oh, are you sure you can beat Shang Tsung?" And Raiden's like, "Bitch, even without my powers, I'm way stronger than you idiots."
Right.
Like, he kind of disrespects everyone.
Raiden, how long have you been alive? Oh, what? 10,000 years? Do you condemn slavery? Well, it's complicated.
That's fucked up. Yeah, so they get there and they get the drop on Shang. Raiden, like, blindsides him with, like, a drop kick, and he's actually, like, taking it to him a little bit. I was like, damn, are they really gonna punk out Shang like this? But with the power of the orb, Shang is able to fight back a little bit and eventually gets the upper hand. But meanwhile, Jax has been throwing down a singular rope. He's just, like, standing at the edge of the fissure with a rope, and he's, like, telling them to be quiet. And it's like, he's not even, like, hiding. Like, he's standing there. Like, it would be one thing if he was, like, behind the rock, like, squatting or something. But no, he's just, like, standing 6'4". Hey, grab the rope. But eventually Shang notices them and begins to
close the fissure.
He's about to kill all of the heroes except Jax and Raiden. But Jax Raiden blindsides Shang
with like a
shoulder tackle.
Right, and it causes him to drop the
orb. And so Jax gets the orb. And I thought for a moment there they were going to have, like, Jax, like, do something with the orb.
Right, yeah, he had it, and he's like...
But he's just like, I don't know what the fuck this thing does. Raiden, you take it. He tosses it to Raiden.
He held it up to his face like an apple, I think, in one scene. I was like, is he gonna bite it?
Is he gonna ponder this orb?
Is he pondering it? Is he gonna crush it? I was waiting for one of them to, like, break it or something.
I wonder what that would have done. Like, would that have stopped the fissure if he just went, like...
Or would it have destroyed the entire Earth? I don't know.
That would have been an interesting side effect. But they get the orb to Raiden. Raiden stops the fissure from closing. Everyone gets out. And then Shang is like, "Oh, I'll kill you." And Raiden's like, "I don't even need my powers to beat you." And he doesn't. He just beats Shang's son.
Yeah, no, he whoops him.
It kind of undermines Liu Kang a little bit,
Right?
They made it look so easy.
So there's this guy who could easily beat anyone on Earth, but because he's a god, he is not allowed to.
He just chooses
not. They really canonized the idea that Raiden could beat anyone easily.
It's like without him losing, which that's another thing too, is that he talks about how, like, he's powerless when he goes to Outworld, but you're still a better fighter than everyone.
Right, he's like,
so it's like,
I have 10,000 years of martial arts. I'm better than all of you.
Why can't he contribute then? I don't... Like, this episode kind of calls a lot of stuff into question for me. Like, it's not a bad episode as far as, like, the action and, like, the character moments, but it does kind of feel like it just confuses me as far as, like, why he can't help, why Shao Kahn isn't more destructive, and why Raiden isn't helping more.
I find it funny that we've been spoiled by these episodes being almost okay, that you just described the action as pretty good. Or, like, decent.
I meant, like, pacing-wise.
Oh, pacing-wise, okay, yeah.
More so than the fight scenes. Because the second, or one of the fight scenes with Shang and Raiden got really confusing with some camera cuts.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. They defeat Shang, and Sonya hits the finish him. She's like, fucking kill that.
Oh, yay!
And Raiden's like, I got a better idea. I'll let Shao deal with him. And he opens a portal and throws Shang Tsung in the portal.
That's pretty good. That probably is their way of saying he's dead. Yeah. I was expecting him to say, as he always does with these villains, throw him in the void.
Throw him into the void.
Throw him into the void. I am merciful. Throw them into the void of nothingness where nothing happens and there is no joy or emotion.
But they leave the portal open so I think this is like they just leave that portal open for a long time. And eventually they discuss what they should do with the orb, and they decide that they need to throw the orb away or like hide it.
Right.
So Raiden, after like 40 seconds or something like that, finally zaps the portal to like change where its location is, and then he throws the orb in. And right as they throw that, they get blinded. Like, I don't know if it was the reaction of the orb going through or what, but they all of a sudden are like, I can't see, and you see a shadowy figure run into the portal after the orb. And I guess it's implied that that's Shao Kahn. Although I don't think Shao Kahn would do it himself based on the series that we've seen so far.
Also, confusingly, what does Raiden say it leads to?
Space.
Space. So, what is like Shao Kahn just moonwalking in the sky looking for the orb? Like, what? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know. If that even was Shao Kahn. Like, we still don't know who it actually was. Maybe it was like a dark priest, and then the dark priest can teleport, so he just, I don't know. But if it is Shao Kahn, and if it is space, then I have a lot more questions.
I have so many questions.
But then...
Reiko.
Then Raiden and Jax bond a little bit more, but Sonya calls them out. They're like, what the hell, you guys buddy? And they're like, nah, this guy fucking sucks. I fucking hate him.
Or a sea slug would have been better company.
Great line from Raiden there, yeah. And then that pretty much ends the episode, I think.
I wish he had said something like, how about I just kill everyone?
How about I just kill everyone here?
How about I just kill you all?
Wouldn't that be funny?
That'd be funny. I'm kidding, Einstein. Oh, man.
So, yeah, two solid episodes.
I don't want to... I like the last sit down where we watched 4 episodes and they were almost all horrible, and like I wanted to just quit the whole series for a second there. Glad I didn't. This was good.
I'm hoping that it maintains this energy. We got 4 episodes left. Next time we'll check out episodes 10 and 11, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next time on Down 2. Peace.
Cool. I should have hit you. That would have been hilarious. It would have been hilarious. Just knock all your teeth out. It's for internet clout.
It's for entertainment.
It's for internet clout. It's for internet clout. Don't be mad.
Oh. Well, do we want to do more?